Hello and welcome to the Hockey Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. I'm your host, Ryan Gilbert, joined as always with my co-host, Joel Meyer. How we doing tonight, Joel?
Pretty fucking tired, to be honest, but it was a long night last night. Went to the Devils Canucks game, which was something that was really special. It was probably the best Canucks game I've seen, other than when McKinnon went full bull in a China shop. Canucks were coming back, and then he just took over, won the game. I think like 10 seconds into overtime. that was probably the best one. But this one is definitely pretty close to it. The Hughes did not disappoint. Let's say that. Quinn got 2 points. Luke Hughes got a goal. Jack Hughes got a goal and 2 assists. They were incredible too. Yeah, it was phenomenal watching them. Jesper Bratt, though, was probably the man of the match. He scored the first and the last goal, and he looked like the best player on the ice, to be honest. But yeah, my eyes were all over the Hughes. And it's funny. Usually I go into these games thinking I'm going to lose a lot of money, with the fucking $20 beers. But with every single Hughes prop hitting, I was like, oh, fuck. For once, I'm a rich man after a Canucks game. So that was nice. Hopefully the Avalanche Canucks game goes just as well with the visitors winning again.
Yeah, the beers at games could add up there, but I mean the Hughes-a-palooza definitely paid off for you, and it turned into a good game too, because it looked like the Devils might pull away, and then what was it, Schmidt or Vanacek in net? Just whoever it was, they can't stop.
It was Vanacek,
yeah. So that explains why. But I was pissed because I live bet the game to go to overtime. I live bet the Canucks, and of course Bratt scored with like 30 seconds left as Joel's message of the Canucks tying the game shows up in the Discord, which was pretty funny to see.
Yeah, the Wi-Fi or the I was on data there, and it was not going through when I was in the seat. It was going through in the concourse, but I don't know why that happened. Maybe it's just to prevent live bettors. The conspiracy theorists coming out here. But no, what was I going to say? I wanted both teams to get a point. I'm high on both teams. That's another thing too. Like the Devils were my underdog, sleepy team that I was high on. That turned out pretty good last year. This year was the Senators, which is not looking so good, and the Canucks. So it was pretty cool from that standpoint as well. Yeah,
the Canucks and Devils are two teams you've definitely been on, and I mean all three Hughes brothers you've been on. We're starting to hear more talk of what more does Luke Hughes have to do to get some Calder consideration. So we'll get into that some other time though. We got a big slate for tomorrow.
One thing on that, with Connor Bedard playing like 25 minutes a night and having these like minute-long shifts, his chances of injury are imminently higher than that of Luke Hughes, even though he's and Luke Hughes, of course, is now taking over the number one D-man basically with Dougie Hamilton out. So yeah, I'm starting to have a little bit of hope again in the Calder market after just giving up on it a month ago now. But yeah, with Bedard playing so much, there's a chance that you get some burnout. He could get hurt. I don't know. Hope it doesn't happen. But on the other hand.
Yeah, that injury risk is real for him. It always has been, and as you pointed out, with those long shifts, it only increases it. And like if he gets hurt in like January, February, he's not going to have enough points, I think, to pull away from, especially this whole class. Leo Carlsson's been hot recently too.
That's true. He just needs to play more. That was the plan, though, that to get Leo Carlsson in more games later in the season. So there's still a chance for him. But the Ducks need to get their shit together because they're one win in the last 10 games.
Yeah, they're not doing too well. I think the Ducks Blackhawks is what, tomorrow? Or is that tonight? No, that's tomorrow. So we'll get into that later in the show. Of course, make sure you are subscribed to the Hockey Gambling Podcast wherever you listen to your podcast. That's Apple or Spotify. Leave us a 5-star rating and review. Subscribe on YouTube as well. Going live there for all of our shows. We'll be back live probably maybe tomorrow night, going over the small slate. Maybe do some future stuff on Thursday night, but definitely Friday night, probably around 9-10 Eastern time for the big slate. On Saturday, we have all three of us back, so make sure you're subscribed to YouTube there. Already almost up to 100 subscribers so in the first month or so. So we're seeing some good growth there. Make sure you smash that like button, all the comments, all that good stuff. And of course, get in the SGPN Discord. You can put in sg.pn/Discord to get there, or reach out to myself, Talon, or the HDP Twitter account at HockeySGPN. But having some good conversation in there, some futures conversation for NFL as well. So you're missing out if you're not in the Discord. Shout out to the lurkers as well. We know you listen. We know you watch. We see you out there. So shout out to everyone there. All right, I think that's all the plug-in here to do. Make sure you check out the website, of course, as well. I have some fantasy hockey stuff up there. But let's just get right into it then. You ready to get into this? We got 13 games here on Thursday, December 7th.
Before we do, we got to point out Mac in the chat saying we made a bet that $100 on the he had the Sabres plus 1.5 points against the Senators, and both teams are really shitty right now. So it's going to be a good toilet fight there at the bottom of the Atlantic standings. But yeah, I could afford a few more beers at the Canucks games if I win that one. But yeah, yes, sir. Let's go.
All right, yeah. Speaking of those Sabres, kicking it off here at the 7 o'clock time slot, we have those Buffalo Sabres at Boston Bruins. Game itself is in Boston at the Gardens. Bruins, huge home favorites here, minus 270. Bruins puck line is minus 102. Sabres are at plus 220. Over-under is set at 6.5. Overpaying off plus 114. Under is at minus 135. I'll start us off here with this one. I don't know if I can really trust the Sabres at any price at this point. They did get Tage Thompson back, which is big for them. But I mean, their injury list is longer now. You go back to Luukkonen is out, so it's going to be Comrie or whoever's backing him up. I don't think they recalled Levi, so it's going to be Comrie. Dahlin is questionable now. Didn't see that before. Tuck is out. Greenway's out. Jack Quinn's out. Like, they have these guys. Thompson's back, but their depth is now being tested. And Boston, Boston's bounced back a little bit after, tough stretch, 3 straight losses. Did have a bit of a scare against the Leafs there, but did win in overtime. So 3 straight wins for them. They've limited their opponents to, beat Columbus 3-1, beat the Sharks 3-0, 4-3 against Toronto. Buffalo's lost 4 straight now. Now they're going on the road to Boston. I don't really have a strong play for this one. I guess if anything, I'd either take Boston puck line here at minus 102 or just the under 6.5. But that's juiced up to minus 135. But I think that's probably the best play, under 6.5, or maybe like a Sabres team total under 2.5 is minus 175, which is even more. So probably just the under 6.5 at minus 135 for me.
Yeah, I lean to the under. The Sabres are having problem scoring in most games. So eventually you'll see their old 2022 season offense show up, but for the most part it's been pretty lackluster, even when Tage was in the lineup. But now that he's back, it definitely boosted up the Sabres rating, even with those depth injuries. And I can't get anywhere near minus 270 for the Bruins here, who are being carried by some stellar goaltending. And when the goalies aren't performing, they're losing these games. Like it only happens once in a blue moon, but when it happens, they lose. And you can't really rely on that in the year 2023. So my line is only minus 185 here for the Bruins. So plus 220 is definitely appealing to me. So I might have to back the Sabres here. I know the Bruins haven't played since the Toronto game. Sabres have been a bit busier, so they could be disadvantaged rest-wise. But I still got to back him here. This is just too big of a price on the Bruins. Give me the Sabres plus 220.
All right, going down to 7 o'clock again here. I got another big favorite at home. San Jose Sharks at the Detroit Red Wings. Game itself is in Detroit for Patrick Kane's Red Wings debut. Red Wings are minus 298, pretty much minus 300. Red Wings puck line are minus 115. The feisty Sharks, so they're plus 240. Sharks in the puck line are minus 102. Over under set at 6.5. Over at minus 118. Under at minus 102. What do you got for Showtime's debut here in Hockeytown?
Yeah, if you asked me before the season whether the Red Wings would ever be a $3 favorite during the season, I would say no. Give me the no on that one. But here we are against the miserable Sharks. But the Sharks have been very spicy lately, scoring goals out of nowhere. I don't know where their goals were in the first part of the season, but yeah, they're scoring goals for fun now, even against the stingy Islanders, against the the Rangers. Yes, you were on them in that one. And the Devils too, but the Devils give up goals to anyone, so that they don't get too much credit for that one. But yeah, for this line, it's intuitively it looks too high, but my number is minus 270. So that's basically bang on where we're at here when you add the VIG. So I got nothing on the side, to be honest. I mean, the Kane thing, I don't think that makes too big of an impact right away. I mean, you'll get the public money back in that, but that doesn't mean much. Yeah, I don't know a strong feel in this one. I want to take the under because it's the Sharks, but these are not the Sharks of November. These are the December Sharks. They're turning into goal scoring machines here. So I got nothing for this one. What do you got?
I think there's some value here on the Sharks plus 240. I think if anything, Patrick Kane debuting hurts the Red Wings. They gotta get this guy who hasn't played in months, coming off hip surgery, find some chemistry with him. Obviously, he is playing with DeBrincat, so he has some built-in chemistry there. But still, he's not going to be up to game speed. Even these veterans, you see, they need a few preseason games to get up to speed. And the Red Wings have they've been great recently in terms of the record. Won 6 of their past 7. Only loss was a tough loss against the Rangers, but they have to come down to earth sometime. We've been saying that about that for them for a while. And you know what? This could be a spot where it happens. The Sharks have been road warriors here. They're 2-2 on the road trip with those wins against the Devils. The Islanders gave the Rangers a scare there. So yeah, I think the Sharks here, small play at plus 240. And yeah, for the total, I would lean to the over, just given how these two teams have played recently. Oh, but I saw that Ville Husso recently had a kid, so I want to see if he's starting tomorrow. Because if he's starting tomorrow, we might get a shutout there from the Red Wings. I'm not sure. Husso is confirmed to start, so maybe not a strong play on the Sharks, but maybe a stronger play on the under then.
That same thing happened with Nichushkin in Colorado. Like he had a kind of slow start of the season, but after his wife or girlfriend or whatever had the kid, he just he's taken off, and he's been the old nuke.
Yeah, I saw he said he was finally able to sleep now that the baby was actually born. So he had some energy.
Usually the other way around, you think?
Yeah. All right, for the next game, we're brought to you by Bet Rivers. Bet Rivers is available in over 14 states, plus Ontario, Canada. Bet Rivers has some of the best live betting markets in the space. Their betting menu is second to none, including a ton of props. Depositing and withdrawing is super easy on Bet Rivers as well. So sign up using our link to get a risk-free bet up to $500. Just go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/betrivers. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/betrivers. And we're also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy, who has a way to play alongside your favorite fantasy players all season long. No matter the sport, simply pick higher or lower on your favorite players' fantasy stats and cash in. So watch along, make your picks, and maybe make a little cash over on Underdog's mobile app or website, underdogfantasy.com. And when you sign up with the promo code SGPN, Underdog will double your first deposit of up to $100. That's Underdog Fantasy, promo code SGPN. All right, getting back into it here with another big favorite. We got the Los Angeles Kings at the Montreal Canadiens. Game itself is in Montreal at 7 o'clock. Canadiens are plus 190. Kings are minus 218. Over under is set at 6.5. Over at minus 102. Under is at minus 118 here. Kings coming off a big overtime win there in Columbus, where I was on their puck line. I think probably most people were on their puck line because they should have won by 2 there, but they did not. But I'm going right back to the puck line here again at plus 114. They've been winning consistently by at least 2 goals. Talon talked about it last show. Beat the Avs 4-1, beat Montreal 4-0, 5-2, 4-1, 5-1. And they've just been limiting goals. And this Montreal team, they've been decent recently, but I think they're nowhere near this Kings team, especially Los Angeles coming off a loss. They'll come back out, bounce back well. They did the same thing last time. They lost to Washington, then beat the Avs 3-1 in a dominant effort there. So Kings puck line here, plus 114 for me. And I also do like the under 6.5 at minus 118. Kings games are just typically going under, and I think they'll be able to have a good defensive effort here with Cam Talbot back in net against Montreal.
Right. Yeah. It's Kings in regulation kind of thing for me, but that's not a strong play. My line is minus 214, so nothing there. But yeah, I think I agree with you with the honor, the way that the Kings play. They're just so structured, disciplined defensively, and they can shut teams down effectively. And they're getting goaltending. Copley, not so much. Let in a few bad goals there against the Blue Jackets. At least I think they're bad goals. That's what I heard anyway. But yeah, Talbot should be in net for this one. So yeah, give me lean to the Kings, stronger lean to the under.
All right, going down to 7 o'clock here. Oh, we got the Toronto Maple Leafs at the Ottawa Senators. Game itself is in Canada. Ottawa are home underdogs plus 114. Maple Leafs are minus 135. Over under at 6.5. Over paying off minus 135. Under at plus 114. Mr. Meyer, what do you have for this big showdown here?
I was half expecting you to try to do a talent impression, hating on Sens fans, but I'm glad you didn't. I've had enough of that shit because I'm a low-key Sens fan with my guy Tim Stutzle in the house. Yeah, the over got bet pretty quickly here. The line's gone up as it should because I think that there will be 7+ goals in this game. Leafs, we've been over their defensive issues, defensive injuries. Klingberg just got shut down for the season, which probably actually helps their defense, especially if they can bring someone else in with the cleared cap space. And the Sens, meanwhile, are just they've always been bad defensively the last few years in terms of allowing goals. I mean, they get a lot of offensive production from the blue line though, so they can score as well. Even at minus 135 here, I love the over 6.5. No real feel for the side. My line is okay. Well, my line is telling me to bet the Leafs here. It's all the way up at minus 160. Oh, Thomas Chabot's out. That's right. I adjusted for that. Sucks to be him, man. He just gets back now. He's going to be out for another month or so. So yeah, I guess I like the Leafs. I haven't bet that yet, but I have bet the over. But I'm going to bet the Leafs here when I get a chance.
Yeah, I think the over here is a strong play. We saw these teams in Toronto last month, November 8th. Ottawa won 6-3. So I think we could see a similar game here. I think there is value on Ottawa at home. They bounced back from 3 straight losses with 2 wins, 2-0 against Seattle, then an impressive win, 6-2 against the Rangers. And the Leafs, they've been very up and down. I mean, they've been going to overtime, so maybe take a look at the draw in this one. They've gone to overtime in 3 straight, 5 of their past 6. I think like 10 or 11 games this season now. That's plus 380. Maybe a correct score 3-3 is always worth a look in these Leafs games. But yeah, that over 6.5 is probably the best bet at minus 135. But I do lean to the Sens here at plus 114. It just seems like the Sens always show up against the Leafs, and the Leafs, tend to lose these type of games where they play down to their competition who is not having a good start. Also, the Leafs are 5-5 on the road. Sens are 8-7 at home. So a little lean to the home team there.
You know what? I think I switched up. I gave the home ice advantage to the Leafs. That's why my line is minus 160. So cancel that. Cancel the side. It's pretty fairly priced there with the sides. But I still love the over.
All right. Going down to 7:30 now. We have the Columbus Blue Jackets at the New York Islanders. Game itself is on Long Island. Islanders are minus 205. Islanders on the puck line are plus 124. Blue Jackets are plus 170. Over under is at 6. Over paying off minus 120. Under is at plus 102. Big Metropolitan Division matchup here. Islanders fighting for a playoff spot. Columbus fighting to stay relevant. But Columbus is 2-10 on the road, 2-7-3. Islanders are 4-3-5 at home, so that's 4-8. That's not that much better. Islanders won 2-0 in Columbus back in October. Columbus, good fight against LA there at home. Islanders did just lose at home to the Sharks there in overtime. So could see a bounce back game here for the Isles, but I can't back them at minus 205. I guess if anything, I would maybe lean to the under here, but this is probably pretty much a pass game for me.
Yeah, feeling the same way, though. Kind of like the Blue Jackets here. They got a strong start of the season, then a terrible slump, and then now they're turning it back around. Patrick Laine, I think, missed the last game. Not sure if he's good to go for this one, but still, I think I lean to the Blue Jackets here. The Islanders just are they're worse than ever defensively now. At least they're worse than ever offensively, but they've also struggled defensively, and that was supposed to be their bread and butter, as well as goaltending, which is just being let down by that bad defense. So you can't expect Sorokin to do everything or Varlamov for that matter. So yeah, I mean, my line is only minus 167 for the Islanders, so plus 170 for the Blue Jackets. That's the way I'm leaning right now. They weren't terribly outplayed by the Kings in that game. I think they could be competitive here. So plus 170, I think, is a pretty good look. Also, watch out for Lane Lambert, next coach fired. I mean, the amount they're letting you bet is getting smaller and smaller on these things, but whatever, I'll keep doing it. I saw him at 4-1 earlier today. So after losing to the Sharks and he loses to the Blue Jackets, he could be fired on Friday. So yeah, I like the Blue Jackets plus 170. And Lane Lambert, next coach fired, 4-1.
Yeah, not a bad look there with DJ Smith getting back-to-back wins. So he should be, his seat should be at least a little bit cooler now. Going down to
although Jacques Martin was hired as a coaching consultant, so DJ Smith has to look over his shoulder at the old Sens coach around. So yeah, that's interesting indeed. Yeah, look out for that. DJ Smith is yeah, he might have a coach in waiting on his own bench.
All right, going down to 8 o'clock now. We have the Dallas Stars at the Washington Capitals. Game itself is in Washington. Stars are minus 142. Capitals are plus 120. Over-under is at 6. Overpaying off minus 105. Under is at minus 115. What do you got for this one here? Stars on the second half of a back-to-back in D.C.
Right, and Jake Ottinger in net and not playing terrific so far. He's actually been going through a little bit of a slump lately. And his team aren't helping him out either. They haven't been impressive last few games. Even that win, that dominant win against the Lightning, that was mostly just Lightning mistakes and power play goals and just bad penalties and bad goaltending by Vasilevsky. And that one, the scoreline is a lot kinder to them than their performance deserved. Yeah, but this one I think I'm gonna wait and back the Stars when the line goes down, because when Wedgwood is confirmed and everybody betting the team on the back-to-back, I think that we'll get a better price here than minus 142. So my plan is to wait a bit, get the Stars against the Capitals, who are coming back from that long road trip, Dave Walensky special, and they're a bunch of fraudulent bums. So yeah, I like the Stars here at a better price on Thursday. And lean to the under 6, even with Wedgwood and nets. He gives up a lot of goals, but the Capitals are probably third worst offensive team. I don't know. They're really bad offensively, so I think that even Wedgwood can prevent them from scoring more than 2 goals. So lean to the under, but stronger play is Stars at a better number on Thursday.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I think Stars minus 142 is a fine number. It's worth betting, but yeah, that should go down with them being on a back-to-back. Washington is coming home from that long road trip, five straight games out west, and they look good. They lost in San Jose, beat the Kings, beat the Ducks, but then they just completely ran out of gas there in Vegas and Arizona. Now they get a few days to come home, relax, and then the Stars come into town, on a second half of a back-to-back where looks like they probably are coming off back-to-back losses. Now they're down 3-1 after losing down there in Tampa. And Dallas has been good on back-to-backs this year. They've won both of them, going from Calgary to Edmonton, beat Edmonton 4-3, and then going from Winnipeg to Minnesota, winning that one 8-3. So, I think the Stars here are definitely the side to bet, minus 140 or better even. Yeah, I think I do lean to the under here. The Caps just can't score that much, and I think the Stars will be content to play a more responsible game with Wedgwood in net. So like the Stars here, minus 142, and lean to the under there as well. All right, going down to the final 8 o'clock game on the docket, we have the Tampa Bay Lightning at the Nashville Predators. Game itself is in Smashville. Predators are minus 105. Lightning are minus 115. Over-under is at 6.5. Overpaying off minus 105. And the under at minus 115. Another back-to-back here for the Lightning. They're currently beating the Penguins 2-0, I believe, late in the second period there at home. Have to travel up to Nashville after this game, where the Predators are going to be waiting for them after a shootout win in Chicago on Tuesday night. Big shootout win there for the Preds. Preds have been good. All season long. Did have a few hiccups there against the Rangers and the Wild there in Minnesota, but they've still been one of the best expected goals 4% team. They have the 8th best. Tampa Bay has not been as great. They're in the middle of the pack, and they're on a back-to-back here. I believe it's Vasilevsky tonight, so it should be Johansson tomorrow. Lightning on a back-to-back. They lost in Arizona after losing in Colorado on a back-to-back. They haven't been great. They're an older team, so the fatigue will affect them a bit more. So I love the Preds here, and underdog minus 105. If you can get them better, probably around even money before. But this line should move. More money should come in on the Preds. So get this as soon as you can. And then for the total, probably a pass on the total. Maybe a lean to the over here. That's just due to Johansson being shit.
Yeah, lean to the Preds here with the Lightning in the back-to-back. Johansson is shit indeed. Vasilevsky is turning it around after that shitty performance against Dallas with the 1.5 shutout so far. They shut out the Stars in the home matchup there, and then leading currently the Penguins 2-0. But yeah, So it's going to be Johansson in net, so that's irrelevant. So yeah, I like the Predators here. They've been very hot as of late. They had a terrible start to the year, but they've been cruising, beating bad teams, beating good teams. But the best bet of the game here for me is the obvious one. It's the over 6.5 at minus 05. It's the Predators have a weak penalty kill. Lightning have second best power play in the league. The Lightning has Johansson in net, and the Predators have this run and gun kind of style now with Andrew Burnett. So I love goals in this one. Probably gonna lose the over in the Lightning Penguins game, but oh well, we're gonna get goals in this one. Going back to with Lightning overs. Also, yeah, the Lightning just fucking awful on the road as well. I mean, they turn into a totally different team at home, so that's another reason to like the Predators. But stronger play is definitely the over for me.
Yeah, great point there. Lightning are 4-7-2 on the road. They're awful on the road there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're brought to you by Game Time. Buying tickets to your favorite event shouldn't be stressful. Game Time is the fast and easy way to buy tickets for all the sports, music, comedy, and theater near you. With killer deals on last-minute tickets and their best price guarantee, you can stop stressing over the tickets and start getting hyped for the fun you'll have. The Game Time app experience, you got those flash deals, last-minute tickets, images of the seat views, so you know exactly what to expect before you arrive, and of course, their lowest price guarantee. So snag the tickets without the stress with Game Time. Game Time tickets make the perfect holiday gift. So download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CFBX for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CFBX for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. And win bigger by betting smarter this season with Hall of Fame Bets, the sports betting analytics platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Research every bet with historical stats and data. Enter any parlay idea into Hall of Fame Bet's revolutionary parlay optimizer tool to get hit rates broken down by leg, as well as an expected probability for the entire parlay. Sort our players by hit rate for any bet to learn which players are hot and which picks have value. Stop betting in the dark and join over 30,000 users researching with Hall of Fame Bets to craft more intelligent, data-driven parlays. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit HOFBets.com and use code SGPN to get 50% off your first month today. Start researching, start winning with Hall of Fame Bets. All right, here going down to the 8:30 time slot. We got the Anaheim Ducks at the Chicago Blackhawks. Game itself is in Chicago. Blackhawks are plus 105. Ducks are minus 125. Over under is at 6.5. Over paying off minus 105. Under at minus 115. Joel, what do we got for this big Calder Trophy matchup here between Bedard and Carlson?
Indeed. Yeah, Ducks have been playing better lately. I know they only have one win to show for it, but the last 4 games or so, they've been actually highly competitive. After that long road trip there, coming back home, they were good. They were good against the Avs without Makar, but still, the Avs should have wiped the floor with them. 3-2 final there, and I know that McTavish is probably out for this one. I think he has a chance to play on the game after that. I was reading, but probably not for this one. But that's okay. The Ducks have enough talent here to get it done. My line is minus 135. I like the Ducks here. Blackhawks are just pitiful. Beyond Bedard, they have absolutely nobody. Yeah, Ducks are much better goaltending too. The Blackhawks tandem started out hot, especially Soderblom, but they've totally fallen apart lately. So yeah, I like the Ducks here quite a bit. Kind of like the under 6.5, minus 15 here. The Blackhawks have, I mentioned the Capitals having the 3rd worst offense. I think the Blackhawks might be number 2 in terms of worst. So yeah, under 6.5 is a lean, but stronger play here in the Duck side.
Yeah, the Blackhawks are doing the rebuild right. They're tanking. They tanked for Bedard. Now they're they're exciting to watch at times with Bedard and with that line on the ice. But besides that, they're not scoring too much. Did give the Preds a scare in the last game, 4-3 in a shootout, but they scored 3 goals in total, one in each of their 3 previous games here. John Gibson's still a guy in net for the Ducks, and yeah, as you mentioned, they have been better than their recent record suggests with that 9 or 10 game losing streak they had. Yeah, so I like the Ducks here, minus 125. Yeah, I'd probably lean to the under here, but the Ducks, they have these games where they can score, 3, 4, or 5, 4 or 5 goals here. Blackhawks maybe put a couple in, so no real play on the total, but I do like the Ducks minus 125 there.
Ducks, I think, have also played the second hardest strength of schedule in the league, behind only the Sharks here, according to Domly Shizen's metrics here. So that's Ducks they've been playing some tough teams, and they got a lot of fluky wins, come from behind wins and all that. But the aggression's coming now. But I think that this is still a good place to back them against a pitiful Blackhawks team.
I mean, they had a horrible schedule, and they're right in line with the Oilers in terms of like point percentage. So that's nothing wrong with that there. All right, going down to the 9 o'clock time slot here. We have the Philadelphia Flyers at the Arizona Coyotes. Game itself is in the Shadow Realm at Mullet Arena. Coyotes are minus 118. Flyers are minus 102. Over-unders at 6. Over slightly favored at minus 112. Under 6 at minus 108 here. You guys know I'm on my Fly guys here at minus 102. If you can get them for plus odds, even better. They've been, back-to-back, not a back-to-back, but a home and home with one of their biggest rivals, the Penguins. They swept that in overtime. 3 straight overtime games for their past 5. So maybe some fatigue there, but I trust Tortorella, Coach Bunch here to not have too much fatigue. On the other side, Arizona has won 6 in a row. They're going for their first 5-0 road trip since second time in franchise, or homestand, I should say, the second time in franchise history here. But Flyers are a tough team. No matter the night, they're going to give you a good fight here. Even if it's Carter Hart or Samuel Ersson. Carter Hart is definitely better, but Ersson's been good as well in net recently here. So I think the Flyers are a solid play here as road dogs minus 102. For the total, I would go under 6, especially if it's budding Vezina Trophy candidate Connor Ingram in net for the Coyotes there against either one of the Flyers' good goalies with the good defenseman in front of them there. So, give me the Flyers and the under 6.
Yeah, if Connor Ingram can sustain this, he absolutely has a shot if the Coyotes can sustain this, but I don't think that they can. Their PDO right now is off the charts, as Shark was outlining in the Discord. The Coyotes are due for a bit of regression. Flyers, meanwhile, though, I think that they've been on pace with how they've been playing, right there in the mix for the playoffs. They've been really fucking solid, especially considering how terrible their roster looks on paper, at least. Sean Couturier coming back has been huge. They've got some production from some of their younger guys, but really it's just a team effort. The sum is greater than the whole is greater than the sum of its parts, as the saying goes. And that's why Tortorella is another candidate for Coach of the Year. I mean, he absolutely has a shot if the Flyers make the playoffs. But the same goes for the Coyotes with Andre Tourigny as well. I don't have a feel for this game. I like both these teams, as dark horses to make the playoffs. But yeah, one more note though is Connor Ingram. At first I was like, no fucking way is he going to win the Vezina. But if he puts up these insane numbers all year long, then he absolutely does. But the Coyotes have to make the playoffs, of course. And and Demko and Ottinger are slipping a bit. So the strength on the Vezina is weakening. So yeah, Connor Ingram he's too low now. The fucking cowardly books post him at like 50-1 after people requested it. Like if he was like 150-1 a couple weeks ago, then yeah, that'd be a damn good bet. But of course the books didn't list him. So that's unfortunate for people. I was not going to be one of them because I thought that he had 0% chance. But for those of people who've been asking me about it, I would have. Yeah, those people would be in very good shape right now if the fucking books listed them.
Yeah, the Vezina field's kind of wide open right now. You mentioned Demko and Ottinger slipping. Aiden Hill has been hurt for a few games, so Ingram and Talbot both have 930 save percentages with 11 wins. I do think Ingram, eventually falls off a little bit as the Coyotes do with their PDO. I do think Talbot falls off well, but like no one is running away with it. Even Gorgiev, has 14 wins, but his save percentage is barely over 900. So it's wide open right now. And I don't think, unfortunately, though, the odds are all kind of shorter where there's no great value plays right now.
Yeah, it's a mess. There's nobody I'd be willing to back at the current prices, given the fact that nobody's really playing terrifically, except for Connor Ingram. But of course, he's already down to like 30, 25 to 1.
Yeah. All right. Going down to 9 o'clock again here. We got the Winnipeg Jets at the Colorado Avalanche. Game itself is in Colorado. Avalanche are minus 162. Jets are plus 136. Over under is set at 6. Over at minus 112. Under at minus 108. Jolie, what are your Avs gonna do here at home?
Well, speaking of unfortunate injuries, we mentioned Aiden Hill, and now Cale Makar is another one. Like, very, very unfortunate timing there. But that's the thing. This guy, he can't stay healthy. He can't play a full 82 game season. So we just have to take it, and hopefully stays healthy for the playoffs. That's all that matters in the end. But for right now, it's unfortunate. And yeah, for this one, I'm assuming he's not going to play. You never get any kind of info from the Avs injury wise. He was never going to play the last one. I really don't think he's going to play this one. So that leads me to believe that the Jets are the team to back here. I mean, adjusting for Makar's absence, I only have the Avalanche at minus 122. So yeah, give me the Jets here, plus 136. Very good team, very solid, physical, well coached, and Connor Hellebuyck is the better goalie right now than Georgiev. So yeah, give me the Jets here, plus 136. Lean to the under 6, minus 108. Both teams play a good, tough defensive game, so I like the under as well. But stronger play would be on the Jets side.
Yeah, you look at this Avalanche injury list. Byram questionable, Cogliano questionable, and the Truskin questionable.
Gerard.
Illness. Gerard out indefinitely personal since
he's a fellow depressed alcoholic.
Yeah. Cale Makar questionable, obviously. Lekkonen's still out. Winnipeg's been mostly healthier. They just have Nemesnikov is their only kind of main guy out. So yeah, I do agree. But I would only lean to the Jets here, plus 136. I do think the Avalanche's home ice advantage is a real home ice advantage. As I mentioned a lot here, Jets going on the road after a decent homestand, 4 straight under games, low scoring games, beat the Blackhawks and the Canes. Colorado's also have some low scoring games recently. So that's why I think the under 6 is the best bet in this game, minus 108. Hellebuyck's been great in net. Hopefully it's going to be Georgiev and not Prosvetov for the Avs. I think either way here, lean to the Jets and a better play on the under 6 at minus 108. Going down to 9 p.m. again here, we got the Carolina Hurricanes at the Calgary Flames. Game itself is in Calgary. Flames are plus 102. Hurricanes are minus 122. Over under is at 6.5. Over playing off plus 100. Under at minus 120 here. We got a back-to-back for the Hurricanes, who their game in Edmonton on Wednesday night has not started yet here. But I think in Calgary, like I was watching some of their game the other night against who are they playing? They were playing Minnesota. I was watching that. They just looked lifeless. There was a home game. There was no energy in the crowd. They had Wolf there in net for the second half of it. Lost 5-2. They were looking better with a few overtime wins, but they're not a good team right now. But also the Hurricanes, I can't trust their goaltending, especially on a back-to-back here. So if I had to play a side, it would be the Flames, just because they're home underdogs, 5-5-1 at home. Canes are 6-7 on the road with tonight's game pending. Over under, I guess I would lean to the over here, over 6.5 plus 100, just because it's going to be either Vladar or Wolf for the Flames, and the Hurricanes can't really stop a puck unless Kuchi there has a good game. So pretty much a pass game for me, but lean to the Flames and lean to the over.
All right, Markstrom is going to miss a few weeks, I think, with the broken hand, which is unfortunate. He's playing pretty well, and yeah, so I don't know where this line is going to go exactly, because the Hurricanes goaltending situation doesn't, goaltending does not matter in their case, because it doesn't really Ranta or Kochetkov. whoever starts tomorrow. And the Flames, meanwhile, Wolf and Vladar. I guess Vladar will get it, but I don't know that. So this is just a mystery game to me. I don't know where the line goes exactly, because people will think that, or they'll remember that Markstrom is not in the game, and then the Flames would be bet against. But then the Hurricanes are on the back-to-back. So yeah, it could go either way there. But I no feel for the side at all. But give me the over 6.5, even money. Just going to fade both goaltending. Hurricanes have been bad defensively, not as good as they were in the previous seasons, but they've been scoring more goals. So tit for tat. Yeah, just give me the over here. The Flames are, they lost the Dorov. They had a good effort against the Canucks, but still fell short, and just a pitiful effort against the Wild. Maybe they come out stronger against the Hurricanes, but I don't know about that. But I think that they can score a couple goals at least against this pitiful Hurricanes goaltending tandem. So over 6.5.
All right, going down to 10 o'clock here. We got the Minnesota Wild at the Vancouver Canucks. Game itself is in Vancouver. Canucks are minus 148. Wild are plus 124. Over under is at 6.5. Over paying off minus 108. Under is at minus 112. Joel, what are your Canucks here going to do at home?
Well, it's they've been zigging and zagging like for the past 2 weeks. They win one, lose one, win one, lose one. So they're due to win one here, but I don't think they will. The Wild are they're more like the team that I expected going into the season after firing their coach. They've sharpened up their goaltending. Their penalty killing is better, and Matthew Boldy's gotten going. I think he only had one goal before what's his name took over, John Hines. Now he's scored 4 goals, I think. And Kaprizov's playing better. This whole team is just rallied behind the new bench boss. And I think they keep it going here today. I don't know why they're plus 124 dogs. They're playing much better than the Canucks right now. I watched Elias Pettersson in person, and he looks worse in person than he does on TV right now. He's making poor decisions, fumbling the puck, turning it over, and he's not playing with any confidence right now, which is a problem for him because he's in a contract year, so he's costing himself millions of dollars, which probably accelerates his or enhances his misery and lack of confidence. So that's no good for him. Quinn Hughes, though, is fucking unreal. Probably top 3 player in the league right now. So he's really carrying this team. I mean, the power play is absolutely legit, and the Wild penalty killing, I know it's better lately, but it's still worse in the league. So they haven't really fixed that entirely. So the Canucks power play could get going. But I still got to take the Wild here. My number is only minus 122 for the Canucks. I just can't trust them 5-on-5. Wild is a much better team 5-on-5 right now. So yeah, give me the Wild here, plus 124. Lean to the over 6.5. Demko is those goals against weren't entirely his fault, but he's not making the elite saves he was earlier in the year. So yeah, we're gonna back these teams going back and forth at it again. Another high scoring Canucks game, but stronger player definitely the Wild.
Yeah, I think the Wild here, is the play at plus 124. They've been a completely different team since their coaching change. 3-1, 6-1, 4-1, 5-2, all 4, wins by margin there. So maybe even this would be a reverse puck line if you take the Wild minus 1.5. But I think plus 124 on the money line is good enough for me here. They've been a lot better in the last 10 games. They have the 3rd best expected goals 4% in the league. And Vancouver is where are they at? Vancouver has the 11th best. So they're 14th best. So they're more middle of the pack, around 50%.
That's all situations,
there.
Right?
That the 5-on-5.
Oh, that's surprising. I thought that they'd be like 16th at best.
Yeah, so I mean,
that's the eye test does not tell me that they're 11th, but okay, maybe I'm just
for 14th. They're 14th.
Oh, 14th. Okay. 14th. All right. Not too far off.
Yeah. They're not top 10 there. And yeah, they back and forth game against the Devils, probably an emotional game. The guys got up for the Hughes Bowl there. So, Minnesota here going from Calgary, going down to Vancouver. I think they're, got some good mojo going here. I think as dogs, they're a good play there, plus 124. I don't have a play really for the total. I think if anything, I would lean to the over there. Canucks can score. Minnesota's been scoring more recently, but better play is definitely the Wild plus 124. Going down to 10:30 for the final game on our docket here. We have the New Jersey Devils at the Seattle Kraken. Game itself is in Seattle. Kraken are plus 130. Devils are minus 155. Over under is at 6.5. Over paying off minus 112. Under is at minus 108 here. I like the Devils here. Devils on the road. They've been good on the road this season. 7-4-0. They're healthy again. I know Hamilton's still out, but they have Heischer and Hughes back. Heischer's really been the driving force for that team. Their record with him compared to without him is pretty significant here. A big emotional win there in Vancouver, but I think Seattle is coming back. They've lost 5 in a row. They lost all 4 games on their 4-game road trip there out east. So this is the classic coming back from a long cross-country road trip there. Devils are already out West Coast. Minus 155 has got bet up a bit from where I got it, but I would still play it there. I think that line could definitely still continue to move that way because the Devils are the better team. The Devils should be a playoff team. They're not in the playoffs right now, and the Kraken are not showing what they did last year at all. Lost 5 in a row. So Devils here, minus 155. Then for the over-under, probably go to the over. It's a Devils game, so I think you have to go with the over 6.5, especially at only minus 112.
Absolutely right. The Devils are playing. You take the over. I don't know how many games have gone under, but there haven't been many.
Five have.
5. Wow. Yeah, that's like what 25% at best. Yeah, it's not a team that are stopping pucks from going into their own net, and but they can still put the puck in the other team's net, so that leads to goals. That's simple math right there. So I love the over. The side, yeah, you're right. It has been bet up to a number I don't think is bettable anymore, though. Minus 155 seems about right. But yeah, one more thing about this game. Kraken, of course, come back from that miserable road trip. So it could be a little bit of Dave Blinsky special here. He fade the team coming back from that long road trip. But more importantly, though, well, not more importantly, but one interesting note is Dave Hackstall, next coach fired. He's a big long shot of like 25-30 to 1. I think that's live. That's a live bet because this is a team that had expectations of making the playoffs again. And, they made it the second round last year, and they're definitely underperforming this year. And, who gets blamed for that is the coach. And at such a long number, I don't know why he's behind a bunch of other guys who are never getting fired. So, yeah, if you got an extra $25, $50 maybe if they'll let you lying around, Hackstall, next coach fired is another little interesting look.
Speaking of coaches, do you think John Hines at 40 to 1 has any chance at Jack Adams?
Oh, I fucking hope not. It's hard enough handicapping this sport without these new coaches coming in the mix. I mean, first we got the Knob, now we got John Hines. I don't think so. I don't think the Whalers are making the playoffs. They're too far behind. Oilers have more of a chance, but even then, I don't think that. I don't know how that works. I got to look in the history of coaches coming in and winning the award. I don't think it happens very often.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's down to Tocchet or Laviolette or like one of the other guys, maybe Tortorella, like if the Flyers go on a tear or one of these guys. But I mean, Tocchet's down to plus 350, Laviolette's down to plus 600. So it seems like they're kind of narrowing.
Canucks got to get it going. Canucks, that he should not be that low right now. And of course, he's been bet so much they can't bring it back up. But yeah, the Canucks got to get going, man. Come on.
Yeah, I mean they could definitely they're slipping a little bit right now, 4-6 in their last 10 games. But I mean the Pacific Division is so bad that I don't know who's catching them besides the Oilers. I guess maybe the Flames aren't catching them. It's just if Edmonton catches fire, which is definitely possible.
Yeah, if they blow this lead to the Oilers, that would sum up Vancouver hockey for the past 40 years.
Yeah. All right, that's the 13-game slate on Thursday. Quite a few consensus plays here before we get into our best bets. We have Buffalo Boston under 6.5 minus 135. Kings Habs under 6.5 minus 118. Leafs Sens over 6.5 minus 135. The Stars either now at minus 142 or preferably wait until that line gets shorter. Predators minus 105. Anaheim minus 125. Canes Flames over 6.5 plus 100. Wild plus 124, and then the Devils Kraken over 6.5 at minus 112. Now to our best bets here. We both won last show. You had the Panthers in regulation. I believe that was last Thursday. So pretty much a week ago. You're now up to 6-6 at minus 0.99 units. I had the Pittsburgh Penguins there. I am now 7-5, up 3.17 units. It feels good to be positive a little bit after my lock dog total is just taken a complete turn for the worse here. You got anything top of mind for your lock for the show?
Yeah, give me the Preds Lightning over 6.5 minus 0.5.
All right, Preds Lightning over 6.5.
Yeah,
6.5 minus 105. I'm gonna go with the Stars, so I'll take them here at this minus 142 price. I might be getting negative CLV here, but I think at this point I would bet them if this was the price. So I'll take the Stars minus 142, even on a back-to-back. I just think this Capitals team full of frauds. Kuznetsov was a healthy scratch the other game. We forgot to mention they're already without Backstrom, so they're in shambles there as Ovechkin chases Gretzky's record.
Well, speaking of scratched Russians, Kuzmenko also benched and probably going to be scratched again in the game against the Wild because he can score goals, but Tocchet does not like that he does not forecheck. When asked about it, why he's benched, he doesn't forecheck. I love that from the coach. Come on, guy, get to work.
Yeah, speaking of Russians, shout out Ilya Kovalchuk coming back and signing with the KHL Spartak or something.
Spartak.
Yeah, so, Talon's very excited about that. So I remember that insane contract the Devils tried to sign him to. Just craziness. As Lou Lamoriello there.
Yeah, they're finally free of that debt, I think.
Yeah. All right.
Or probably the Coyotes are probably still paying it.
That's where all the big contracts go to die. Yeah. So that's a good point there. Anything else here before you want to close it out?
No, I'm good.
I'll be back tomorrow with a small. I think it's a small slate Friday. Maybe some futures talk. We got 3 games Friday. We'll see what's going on tomorrow.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right. Make sure you are subscribed to the Hockey Gambling Podcast on YouTube. Going live there for all of our shows. Make sure you're subscribed wherever you listen to your podcast. That's Apple. Please leave us a 5-star rating and review. Same thing on Spotify. And get in the Hockey Gambling Podcast Discord at sg.pn/Discord, or reach out to myself or the HGP Twitter account at HockeySGPN, and we'll point you in the right direction. All right. I am Ryan Gilbert. You can follow me on Twitter at rgilbertsop.
And I'm Joel Meyer. And cheers to everyone who listened to this show, because it was a struggle. It was a struggle for me, but I made it through. You guys made it through. Let's all go home. We're still alive.
See ya.